What I'm going to take you through for the rest of the session here today are going to be our Pro products. So we've got our incredible selection of Pro cameras. We have our Bravia Pro displays, our Pro projector, LCD projector lineup, and of course our home cinema lineup here with our native 4K cinema lineup. So running a little short on time, so I'm going to try and pack as much of this in here in the next 20 minutes that we possibly can, and let you guys see all of these different products. So starting with cameras, you know, we've talked about it for our lens to living room approach that we've had for years and years and years. You guys have heard us talk about it before, but man, the proof is in the pudding, and it is right here. This is a true broadcast grade 4K PTZ camera system. This is the BRC X1000. It is a incredibly smooth and fast PTZ system that is using our award-winning Exmor-R CMOS sensor. Just phenomenal optics with the Zeiss Varioson RT lenses on it that offer you 12 times optical zoom and up to 48 times clear image zoom using our video processing technology. So some really amazing cameras. If you wanted to create, you're shooting your own sporting events, your own reality show, you want that broadcast grade 4K, the BRC series is the line to go with. If we need something that's a little more cost effective, you're doing remote learning, remote worship, work from home applications, you really want to step up your zoom game. Replace your little webcam with our Srgx 400p camera. This is a much more compact, super fast, super quiet PTZ camera. It's available with 4K resolution, so really accurate and detailed images. It has some great connectivity. Let me spin it around here and take a look at the backside here if we can. We have our, of course, traditional HDMI outputs, but we also have outputs over for video over IP and upgradable to NDI HX capability for your different video distribution systems. From a control standpoint, we've got an amazing selection of desktop controllers. Man, I love the big joystick controllers here. Takes me back to the old Atari days with that big old joystick. We've got all of the controls right here on our desktop panels. But we also feature full VISCA and IP control for integration into third-party systems. And one of my favorite things that I've played around with on these is our Video Edge Analytics appliance. Now today in the room, I've got a great camera crew, I've got a great support staff, taking care of all of our different camera shots. Well, if I'm working from home, I don't have that capability. I am the cameraman, so I need to really be able to pivot things around. With our things like our auto tracking on the Edge Analytics appliance paired up with an Srgx 400, it's automatically going to track me as I walk around my space and give presentations. With our Video Edge Analytics appliance, it has gesture controls. So if you're putting this into a remote classroom, a hybrid classroom as we're in today here, we've got some kids in class, some at home. A teacher raises their hand, the camera goes from the teacher to the student that's asking the question, then back to the teacher using handwriting extraction. They can take the information that's being written on the whiteboard and extract it out into the presentation. So really phenomenal capabilities and next level engineering to integrate these into a variety of applications. But it's not just PTZ cameras. We have our compact box cameras here, our 4K 60 Srgx P1, super compact camera here with a very wide field of view, up to 102-degree field of view. We have our long-range camera. You really want to reach out and touch someone here. Our Srgx B25 series gives you a 25 times optical zoom with 4K 60p resolution. So quite a few different options here, a ton of product to go over. So the good news is we have some great solutions for you. On Pro.Sony, we have some very nice application guides that'll walk you through a lot of different sample setups. And then, of course, we also have available to you our engineering team to help you design and build the right system for your client, their needs, and their applications. So please feel free to reach out to us here on system design in the camera area. Moving on here to the flat panels, we have our Bravia Pro series. And it's kind of crazy with all the big TVs we have and big screens we have here today that a 32-inch is getting as much buzz as it does. Because why? There's no 32-inch 4K HDR displays out there. And now we're delivering you an incredible Bravia Pro using our X1 HDR processor, true Sony picture quality in a 32-inch compact monitor here. I do say monitor because there is no tuner, but it does have speakers. It has Android TV. It has Google Chromecast and AirPlay. It has our Pro mode. It has IP control. It has serial control. So everything you've come to know and expect and love about our TVs, we're doing it here in a Pro 32-inch monitor that's great for that kitchen, for that laundry room, that secondary application where you just don't have the room to put a larger monitor. Being part of our BZ30J series, it is also part of a family of monitors. This is our mid-brightness level, available starting with the edge-lit 32-inch, going up to the direct-lit panels, going all the way up to 75 inches. We need something brighter, we need something bigger. That's where we're going to get into the BZ40 series. The BZ40H that I'm looking at right here is a 55-inch mounted in a portrait configuration. Why? Because all of our Bravia Pro BZ series panels can be installed in either a portrait or traditional landscape installation. So really love some digital signage here when installed in the portrait application. Being a high brightness panel, it is running our X1 HDR processor using full panel array, full local dimming, so we can get those really bright highlights, really deep blacks. And it also is running at a 24/7 duty cycle. So your consumer panels are not rated for 24/7 operation. These Pro panels absolutely are. And they're also covered by that great Pro 3-year warranty. So you've got a ton of coverage backing you up on these TVs. The software that I'm running right here today is our Simple Media Player. It is actually a free software that's included with our Bravia Pro panels, and it's all fully compatible with a variety of other premium software solutions for meeting and digital signage applications. Now, series-wise, the BZ40 is available in a 55 all the way up through an 85-inch, and then press release that just came out here, I believe today, was announcing the formal announcement of the 100-inch BZ40J series using that XR cognitive processor. But what if 100 inches isn't quite big enough? Well, let's take a look over here at one of my favorites, a panel that's been just absolutely raved about. I've had guys asking me, all the time, hey, I saw this amazing video wall system at CES. I saw it at CEDIA. How do I get my hands on this Sony product here? Well, here it is. It's CLED, Crystal LED. This is our latest, originally released in 2017. This is our latest generation that's just about to start shipping, and it's just an incredible scalable product. It comes in a couple of varieties here. What we're looking at here today is the Zrd C12a. This is our high contrast panel with a 1.2 millimeter pitch. It has an incredible deep black coating on it, so it gives us contrast unlike any other system that's out there, really rivaling what we can do with an OLED display in a black level perspective, but brightness that really goes way up there at 800 nits brightness. If we need a higher brightness version, we do actually make our B12A series, which is an 1800 nit brightness, but not quite as deep a contrast. So again, the key thing here is these are really scalable for a variety of different applications and installations. Now, we've got the best panels. I'm really confident about that, but you can't get the best panel technology doesn't do you much without the right processing. So this is running our Zrd CT300 processor, which is running the all-new X1 processor for Crystal LED. This gives you all those great Sony technologies that you know and love on our TVs. Things like 4K motion flow, we get reality creation, we get super bit mapping, but hey, we're doing big panels, we got to do even more super bit mapping, so it's a 22-bit super bit mapping. And again, completely scalable size solutions. What I'm looking at right here is a 110-inch version, and man, it is pretty massive what we can do with a 110, but this is a baby CLED right here. We are going to have CLED solutions that go up in size from here, kind of pre-packaged or pre-bundled solutions on the ordering system to make it easier for you at a 110, 137, up to a 220. But again, this is a modular system. It is a custom design system. So we've got some exceptional tools on Pro.Sony, a CLED configurator to kind of help get you some general ideas, and then lean on myself, Jason, Carlos, or your local sales rep to help you design and engineer the right system for your client. Let's pause here real quick. Ken, do we have any questions?
Yes. The question we got first on the CLED was, what's the difference between the model numbers? You have a CL12 and a CL1.5, 1.6.
Absolutely, Ken, great question. There are a couple of different differences in the different models out there. You've got different pixel pitches at 1.2 or 1.5. I expect most of our installations, our customers are going to want that finer detail of the 1.2. And then you have the C series or the B series. The C series is a higher contrast, but not quite as bright, which is good, but still way bright enough for almost any home application that I could see out there being used. The B series was actually developed in collaboration with Sony Motion Pictures because it is a high brightness and a special anti-reflective. Instead of using green screens, we're actually using the B12 series in Hollywood as a digital backdrop that allows you to plant the actors right into a scene. So that's really kind of the prime focus of that B12 series. But again, that's why we're here, is to help guide you through that quote and design process to get you the right product for your customer.
Okay, two questions from Brandon Jackson. One, does CLED support HDR content?
Oh, absolutely. That's what we've got here. So HDR, and again, all your 4K resolutions. It even does 3D. So we've got some really cool product here. It can go all the way up to 4K 120 with dual display ports. So if you want to do some really awesome high-end gaming or digital simulation applications, we've got you covered.
Speaking of DisplayPort, which products through the professional products, do the monitors support DisplayPort?
Unfortunately, our monitors do not support DisplayPort, but again, HDMI is really pretty much our standard there. We do support 4K 120 on the Pro monitors up to that 100-inch panel. But again, DisplayPort is really reserved for those largest panel applications. So our GTZ 380 in the projection world and the CLED product here both support DisplayPort.
Also, to make sure, who does the installation on this?
Oh man, that is where you guys earn your stripes. So good news is we are going to have that's a big part of bringing this next generation CLED to market here for the CI channel. Is we've really simplified the installation process. It's still going to be a detailed installation. We are going to have specialized training on that, and we do have support for you to make sure that you're successful with installing this out in the field.
Making sure that everybody is extremely clear on the idea that the price fluctuates based on this design. We have how many packages, and roughly what's the difference between the packages?
So we have three kind of general guideline packages, and again, these are, and we will have pricing available. We'll discuss with you on an individual basis here. So again, reach out to us for that pricing. But again, those three packages that we have available are kind of starting points to say, hey, my client, help you qualify your client, make sure that you're in the ballpark, and then we'll customize the package and the pricing for your particular needs.
Kathleen is actually asking to make sure that we state that the installation system is much more straightforward than the previous version.
Absolutely, yeah, Kathleen is spot on. You don't need the crazy laser jigs and microscopes that we needed for that first generation, so much simpler to install. Oh yeah, and I also want to point out, it came up in the questions earlier, please allow about a 12-week lead time to make sure that we help to design, engineer, and build this system out to your spec. These aren't off-the-shelf systems right here.
That's it.
All right, very good. All right, well, we got about 10 minutes left. Let's talk some projector. So moving on over here to, I love the CLED product. I wish I had room for a 220-inch CLED in my home, but hey, I'm just gonna have to live with a projector, but I'm not complaining because I love projection systems. Projection systems are the best value in doing a large screen video display system, whether it's for a commercial environment, you need that remote learning, remote office application, digital simulation. And I tell you, man, nothing beats the movie experience of watching a native 4K digital cinema Sony projector. You know, it's that ultimate expression of the filmmaker's technology when we're watching a giant screen at home, I get chills and goosebumps just talking about it here. Movies weren't meant to be watched on an iPhone. They were meant to be watched on big immersive screens, and projectors do that for us unlike anything else that's out there. Now, when it comes to the projector world, there's a ton of ambiguity out there. Prices are all over the map. Technologies, there's all kinds of acronyms for different technologies that are out there. There's lasers, there's lamps, there's LEDs. What's the best? And a lot of times it comes down to, I saw the other day, somebody was asking me about this 5,000 lumen projector for $79 on Amazon. I'm like, seriously? It's not all about the numbers. It's about real world performance and putting the right projector with the right screen and the right application. And that's why we offer a variety of technologies and at an extremely wide range of price points to accomplish your projection needs. So starting off with our Pro LCD projectors. First one I have here is our VPL FHZ 131. This is a WUXGA LCD 3-chip projector. So with LCD 3-chip systems, we get very high brightness, we get very high color saturation. It is not our deepest black, but that's fine because we're a lot of times using these in more brightly lit environments, but from a color saturation and accuracy, they do an extremely good job and allow us to fill up very large spaces very easily. With our 131 series, this is available at a 9,000, 10,000, and then the 13,000 lumen output. This one, I do not have it pictured, the lens installed, because I did want to make sure that you guys know lenses are sold separately on this large venue series. We have a variety of lenses. So for example, a 150-inch screen, I can have my projector as close as about 7-8 feet to well more than 50 feet back from that 150-inch screen. So we give you quite a few lens options here to suit your needs. If we don't need to go as bright as we have with the large venue series, we have our mid-sized projector lineup with our VPL FHZ 70 and 75 series. These are 5500 and 6500 lumens. They come included with a motorized prime lens, but they are interchangeable. So you can go down to as small as a 0.33, as large as a 5.43. So huge throw range on your lenses. These have a ton of input capability. We have, of course, our traditional HDMI, but it has video over IP with HD-based T inputs. It has Extron XTP options. It has even your legacy analog VGA and composite video inputs. I'm surprised it doesn't have an S-video on it. So sorry, that one is gone. But lots of video connection capability on these. It's completely made in, it's free with our laser system, and really great for, again, those remote learning, remote work applications. But think outside the box, man. How about digital artwork applications? How much are people spending on these NFTs? I don't even know what NFT really means, but I know people are spending a lot of money on them. Get a Sony laser projector and display your NFTs. We've got golf simulators and applications. Man, a ton of those going in. We're the top projector for golf simulator applications. We've got outdoor applications. And I love firing up the projector outside and having movie night at the pool. These will, although we are not weatherproof, we are not weatherized, you do need them in an enclosure, we will work at operating temperatures up to 109 degrees with 80% humidity. So Texas summers, man, we're ready to roll with these bad boys. So going down to our PHZ 50 and PHZ 60 series, these are the world's most compact, brightest, 4K capable projectors on the market. So this is a WUXGA resolution projector with a variable zoom lens. It is a manual lens, but what makes this one unique is this one will accept a 4K input. So if you do need, we're not going to play any of the pretend 4K games. I'm going to tell you it's a WUXGA, but we will do 4K inputs, and with our amazing Sony processors and scaling technology, we're going to make it look great, and we're going to give you a great 4K solution that's easy to integrate in with your matrix systems. Down to our CWZ10, this is ideal for those K through 12 classroom applications, the more cost effective. It's the world's smallest, lightest, and 5,000 lumen projector with a laser light engine. And of course, it's that Sony picture quality at a slightly lower resolution at WXGA. Moving on from high brightness, let's go to high contrast. Let's go to high resolution. And this is where our projectors absolutely dominate the industry. We have starting off with the world's least expensive true native 4K projector, our VPL VW325ES. With the 325, this is the world's least expensive true native 4K projector. And what do we mean by true native? It means all 8 million pixels, all the resolution, all the brightness, all the color, all the contrast, all at one point in time. No flashies, no shifties. We're delivering the real deal. We've got the right optics to go along with our 4K imagers. We've got our 65 millimeter glass lens system here. It's a 15-element glass hybrid lens system using an optical polymer for the aspherical system, all the glass elements for everything else, exceptional lenses. But even you can have the best lenses, you can have the best imagers, but without the right processing, you're missing out. All of our 4K projectors from the 325 up to the 1025 use our X1 for projector processor. This new X1 for projector processor does our dynamic HDR contrast enhancement. What does that mean? Well, it means we take any source. I don't care if you're streaming, I don't care if you're watching Blu-rays. We take your HDR source, we break it down, we develop our own dynamic metadata, and we give you a frame-by-frame dynamic tone mapping for the most immersive HDR experience out there. Your blacks are deeper, your brights are brighter, but it's not good enough to just get bright. We want bright with color saturation, and the 325 does that beautifully. 1,500 lumens, its ideal screen size is 120 inches. Will it do bigger? Absolutely. But if I'm saying perfect application, I want the 325 on a screen up to 120 inches. Moving on across the table here, I do have these a little spread out, so I had enough room to show both the white and the black projectors. We have the 715. The 715 gives you a couple of upgrades over the 325. It gives you digital focus optimizer for even better detail and clarity. It gives you picture position for multiple aspect ratios. It gives you a dynamic iris for up to a 40% improvement in dynamic contrast and black level. And then it gives you 1,800 lumens of output, so we can do screen sizes, ideal screen sizes up to 135 inches. We're doing a bigger screen. We want better contrast, better black level. We want laser performance. Now we step up to the 715, I'm sorry, from the 715 to the 915. The 915 also uses the X1 for projector processor. It gives you a dynamic iris with dual contrast control engine. I get my names right here today. We have our laser light engine in here that has the laser working in conjunction with the iris to give you a massive improvement in black level and dynamic range capability with the laser powered projector. So the 915, if we want to step up even more from there, and I like that one on screens up to 140 inches. We have our next step up, the 1025, which uses just the phenomenal ARC-F laser lens system. The ARC-F is a 110 millimeter, 18 elements, all glass with 15 different lens groups. The best contrast, the best color, the best clarity I've ever seen in a lens system, also running the X1 for projector processor. Now, let's look at the big guys. This guy is great for screens up to 160 inches. We want to go bigger. Let's take a quick walk across the room here. And my favorite, this is the beast right here. This is the GTZ 380. This is built on the same base chassis design here as our phenomenal VW5000, which has been our flagship for the past couple of years. The VW5000 is actually still current, by the way. I do want to mention that. With its 5,000 lumens, its RF lens, it's a phenomenal large format projector for these larger screens or higher brightness applications. And we're actually going to look at a 5,000 right here. Again, still phenomenal projector, but this is that new flagship right here. The GTZ380, although it's built on that same chassis design, it is a much heavier projector. It is using our next generation here of RF lens. So we have an even bigger lens system here with the GTZ380. I think a really impressive design, but it's what's inside this projector that counts. The first thing we have is we have the light output. This is using a 10,000 lumen laser system, Sony Z phosphor laser. But it's not just that it's a 10,000 lumen laser, because there's lots of 10,000 lumen lasers out there actually for less money than this. So what's important here is we're delivering 10,000 lumens with a triple laser array. So we've got our Z phosphor laser, we've got an additional red laser for deep reds, an additional blue laser for deep blues, and that 10,000 lumens is at 100% of DCI P3 color space. So not only are we super bright, but we're super bright with color, volume, and saturation. It is just off the charts how good this projector is. Next, we have the processing. I've mentioned processing earlier with that X1 for a projector that's on the 325 through the 1025. This has the X1 Ultimate for projector. With the X1 Ultimate, we get dual database reality creation. We get HDR remastering to upconvert all of your SDR content to near HDR performance. We get our super resolution reality creation that goes from 16 points of control to hundreds of points of control. So it's all object based on breaking down hundreds of points of control on the screen at one point in time. So we have the best imagers, the best brightness, the best color, the best processing out there. And when we're going to make sure we can connect it to a variety of different devices here with our dual HDMI inputs, our dual display port inputs. With the dual display port, whether you're doing a high-end digital simulation, super high-end gaming, with an optional license, we can do 4K 120 over dual display port. And also kind of unique here is that power cord. With high projector power comes high power needs. This requires 220 volts to get that full 10,000 lumens of output. So yeah, you will need that NEMA 615 outlet and that 220 service going to the projector. That's when you know you've really stepped up your projector game, wiring 220 to this bad boy right here. Don't have 220, that's fine. It will run on 110, but at reduced brightness. So what's better than spinning around a projector here on a little turntable? Let's actually look at what this projector does in reality. So I think we're going to switch the cameras up here, and Jason is going to toggle back and forth. We actually have both the 5000 and the 380 up here, and Jason's going to toggle back and forth between those two, and I think you'll notice a pretty massive difference in brightness. But what really allows me to deliver that brightness message and put some raw data behind it is I've got my friend here, right here, Konica Minolta LS150. This is a nice little $15,000 light meter, and it's going to be able to take some brightness readings off the screen and actually tell us the real world performance of what we're getting. Let's see, let's get to I want to get some of these brightest figures here. So when we get to there's a scene coming up, I think, after this one, where we've got some steam coming up. And bright skies, but yeah, again, let's just really, we're at the end. That's all right. Hey, let's step on up here. Why don't we pause it right there, Jason? Thanks. So this Konica Minolta light meter is a really useful tool, really expensive tool for measuring screen brightness. But I love getting to play with this because it's pretty unique to get this accurate of numbers off your screen. So just trying to find the break. So yeah, we're coming in right now at about 38.3, 38.8 foot Lamberts of brightness here off the screen. So if we can switch over to the, all right, and I'm getting right about 19 foot Lamberts of brightness. So yes, there we are, exactly double the brightness when we go to the 380 over the 5000. So great options for different applications between the 5000 and the 380. But yeah, again, that ultimate performance is something you really have to see to believe.